Number 19, h of t equals negative 16t squared plus b. The function h estimates an object's height in feet above the ground t seconds after the object is dropped. All right, so it's not thrown in the air, it's just dropped. So someone is standing on this little ledge and it's going boom, like that. And it's going down, it's going to hit the ground. All right, and it's represented by negative 16t squared plus b equals h of t, where t is the time in seconds, b is a constant that we don't know what it means yet, what it is, and then h of t, this is going to be the height of the object as it's falling. Okay. This function estimates that the object is 3,364 feet above the ground when it is dropped at t equals 0. Okay, so if I'm viewing this as like my little XY graph here, superimposing it over my crude drawing of a cliff and something falling off at the cliff, here when t is 0, because this is going to be that axis, t, and this here is my h of t, it is 3,364 feet above the ground. So this point right here, when t is 0, h of t is 3,364 feet. Okay, so, and that little dot there is just a stray dot, that's not a decimal. So that tells me this right here is representing, if you have negative 16t squared. T squared is just a parabola. Negative flips it upside down, makes the parabola go upside down. 16 makes it much narrower. This is one of those traits, if you learn these basic traits about parabolas and just functions in general, it can help you out a lot. And if you have a number, a constant that's being added on the outside or subtracted on the outside, that moves it up or down on the y-axis. If you had a number, a constant inside here, by which I mean like if it was negative 16 times t minus 2 squared, if it was like that, this number on the inside moves it left or right, but the opposite. So if it's minus 2, it moves it towards the positive 2 spots. That kind of thing can be very helpful. It shows up a lot. So I know this is a negative 16, okay, because I drew half of an upside down, narrow little parabola. That's my negative 16t squared. This b, I know, is the number that moves the function up or down. So here it moved up 3,364. So now I know my b is 3,364. And if you didn't know that fact about how functions move based on these numbers, you could have put in a 0 for t plus b, and you know it equals the height, h of t is 3,364. And then you just solve that. And if you do get this, this is going to 0 out. It's going to be 0 plus b equals 3,364. So b is 3,364. Either way, it gets you to the fact that b is 3,364. All right, back to our description again. Approximately how many seconds after being dropped does the function estimate that the object will hit the ground? Well, what do we know about the height of the object when it hits the ground? Well, when it's dropped, it's 3,364 feet above the ground. When it hits the ground, it is at 0 feet above the ground. So now I've got my b, and I know the height, and I know that height, h of t, height is 0. And they're wanting to know how many seconds after being dropped. So now I just need to solve for t. You can do this by looking at the graph of this and seeing where it crosses the x-axis. Now they aren't doing any, they don't have any negatives there, but we just want to be careful that we are looking at the positive number. I don't think they're trying to deceive you with any of those, but they like doing that, so just be mindful. We're looking on for this side because this parabola would be continuing that way as well in a graph. If you wanted to do this mathematically, you can do that quite easily as well. You don't have to factor or anything if you don't want to. So you can just start here. There it goes. It wasn't letting me draw there for a second. I can subtract 3,364 from both sides. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to get negative 16t squared equals negative 3,364. Now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 16, since that is negative 16 times t squared. I'm wanting to undo that to get t squared by its little lonesome. And when I do that, then on the left side, I'm going to get that t squared is equal to, I forgot my little, I didn't put a negative 16, I put negative 6. Sorry about that. When I do this, when I divide both sides by negative 16, I get that t squared is equal to 210.25. Now to undo this squaring, I just need to square root both sides, and I get that t is equal to 14.5. Normally I would say plus or minus, but seconds can only be positive in this case. It's how many seconds afterwards, so only the positive is the only one we need to worry about. And there is my answer, B, 14.5. Again, for this one, it's just registering, what all these numbers and constants that you're given, what they represent in here. As is quite obvious, I think, to anyone who's watched my channel, I always like drawing little sketches and stuff to help me visualize things. Just do whatever, you prefer, but definitely solve for B, and then you can find out what it is when the height is equal to 0, and that will be your T. Hey guys, the full insanely comprehensive SAT math prep course I've been promising for so long is live right now at mathwithalyssa.com. And of course, you can also still get the free 10 video course on SAT tips and tricks at mathwithalyssa.com as well. You also can now book one-on-one tutoring sessions with me. Links to how you can do that are in the description and the pinned comment below. And as always, if the video you just watched was helpful or useful in any way, please let YouTube know. Comment, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.